It's time for Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network. Tiger Talk, live from the Golden Q in Hayes. The Golden Q, dining, billiards, and a whole lot more. 2 blocks east of campus. The Golden Q. If the game is on, we're open. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors. Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, banking one story at a time. The Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, expertise, technology, and compassion, all right here. Adams Brown, strategic allies and CPAs. BTI, your John Deere dealer in Buckland, Great Bend, Greensburg, Hoxie, Ness City, and Pratt. BTI, our family in partnership with your family. The Taco Shop, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. You've never had it so good. G&L Tire and Automotive, complete automotive service and repair, and tires for all driving needs.
And a happy Monday. Welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you. We'll be talking some basketball with women's coach Tony Hobson and men's coach Mark Johnson. We are at the Golden Q in Hayes, so certainly, as always, invite you to come on out and join us for lunch. We'll be here with the program until 1 o'clock. Some programming notes. This is our last show here of 2021. Next Monday, the Tiger women will be in action. They have their final non-conference game at home against Bethel. So with the women's game, no program on Monday, and then we'll have the next Monday off because everybody will be gone for the Christmas break. And then the Monday after that, on the 3rd of January, we'll all be in Claremore, Oklahoma. The Tiger men and women taking on Rogers State as they start the new year on the road in Oklahoma. So this is our last show for 3 weeks. We'll be back here, our next program, on January 10th. So we certainly hope you can join us for that. Again, we are live at the Golden Q. You can send in a question, get a chance to win a gift certificate from the Golden Q. It's very easy to do. Go to FHSUathletics.com. That's the Fort Hays State Athletics site. On the fan zone, you'll see up top. Click on it. You'll get a drop-down menu. There at the very bottom will be Ask the Coach. Submit your question. If we use it, you'll be in the running for a gift certificate for some food here at the Golden Q. With that, we bring in the head coach of the Fort Hays State women, Tony Hobson. Tigers dropping their first game of the year on Saturday. Tough loss, losing to Nebraska Kearney, 61-56, and probably not so much the loss because the chances of going undefeated this year, any year, are very, very challenging, but probably more the way your team lost. You're playing well. You had the double-digit lead early in the fourth and just kind of had a bad little stretch, 2 or 3 minutes, and we've seen with good teams it doesn't take much, and that was kind of the case on Saturday.
Well, it was, and we saw the same thing at Emporia State. They're very similar because at Emporia State we built a 10-point lead the first half, only to have them cut it very quickly, and then we had another probably 9-point lead there in the fourth quarter there, and they cut it down very quickly. And same thing happened Kearney. We got off to a good start. They cut it. And then we had a double-digit lead, 10, 12-point lead there early in the fourth, and it's like we spend 6, 8, 10 minutes, slowly grinding them and building a lead, and then it just disappears real quickly. And, that was probably about as tough as a regular season loss as you can suffer, especially this early in the season. So, it was a tough loss because we were playing well enough for a good portion of the game to win it. We just couldn't finish it out, and I've looked at those situations a lot on why we give up leads, and usually it starts with on the defensive end, letting them get an easy one, and then a lack of execution on the offensive end, maybe turning it over, taking a bad shot, and then it turns into a little bit of a run for them. So we just have to remedy that and try to get better in those situations. But that's exactly what happened the other night. We made a defensive error and left their best shooter open. She hit a 3, and then had 2 or 3 other either miscommunication or we were not in help where we should have been, and they got to the basket or hit a 3, and and they closed the gap real quickly, and you just can't afford that against good teams.
You know, it's funny when one made shot will do. I think they'd been 0 for 11 from 3, and quite frankly hadn't been close. I mean, they're 3, and you get the one breakdown, they hit that 3, and then they go on to hit 2 more. Just what hitting that one bat shot did and changed the whole complexion.
Well, and that's just what I've seen happening to us. You know, at Emporia State, one of the leads started getting cut into the first half when they got a rebound when they were sitting on the floor in the lane, if you remember.
Yeah, you're right.
They miss a shot. We have 2 or 3 kids standing around, and a ball comes off, and she catches it in the lane and basically hands it off somebody who shoots, gets fouled, and makes it. And we go from up 9, and they make that 3-point play when we should have had the ball up 9. And then we turned it over, and they came back and hit another 3, and now it's a 3-point game instead of us having the ball up 9. And it's just one of those. It's just those little things that get a team started, and then all of a sudden they believe they can do it, and everybody gets involved, and that's. You know, I guess that's how you describe momentum.
Yeah, momentum indeed. Kearney got it, and they go on to get the victory. Tigers with 3 more games before the end of the semester. They'll have a couple of big conference games on Friday and Sunday this upcoming weekend because of graduation, and then, as we said, the Monday game to wrap up non-conference play with Bethel. Tiger Talk is presented today by Golden Belt Bank of Hazen Ellis, here to make every story shine brighter. It's the way they do banking, one story at a time. You can check them out at goldenbeltbank.com. We'll take our first break. We'll have more with Tony Hobson after the timeout. You're listening to Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wurtenberger Construction. To 20. Here come the Tigers. 2 seconds. 1 second. Hobbs, a deep 30-footer. Gone! She buried it! And Fort Hays State leads by 5 at halftime. Yeah, big shot right before the end of the first half as the Fort Hays State women had that 5-point halftime lead. Unfortunately, come up short, losing by 5, 61-56 to Nebraska Kearney. Welcome back to Tiger Talk, live at the Golden Q. You heard it, the Naughty or Nice Burger. That's the new burger of the month, getting some rave reviews. Today's Monday, so that means the grilled cheeseburger is the burger on special here at the Golden Q. Tiger Talk brought to you by G&L Tire and Automotive. They've got their year-end tire sale going on right now. Great deals on tires for all driving conditions and budgets. Plus, they also offer complete automotive care. That is G&L Tire, just east of 8th on Main. They're on the bricks in downtown Hays. We heard that shot right before halftime. Gave you some nice momentum. Jaden made the start, and you kind of mentioned she made progress. Not 100%, I would say, but getting awfully close. Didn't seem to have too much ill effect from that ankle injury. She moved pretty good.
Yeah, I don't. You know, she's not 100% because she's not in shape, back in shape. You know, I didn't want to play her 35 minutes, but you have to. And you know, she had a great game up until, you know, she had just a clutch steal for us, and she's going length of the floor trying to figure out how to make this layup without wrecking her ankle. You could see the wheels turning, and I thought she was just going to stop and let her do a flyby and lay it in, but you know, unfortunately she missed that. But 6 assists, no turnovers, 4 for 6 from the 3-point line. She did everything we could ask of her, and you know, she's getting back. I think hopefully by Friday you'll see even a little bit more progress, and we just need to get everybody going.
Well, and for a 6'3", it was good to see her kind of get that stroke back. Cause even though it was a small sample size because of the injury early, she hadn't. I mean, she missed some threes in those first couple games, and you just I mean, kind of her own doing because she was like a machine a year ago. It went up and it went in, but shot it extremely well. And one of those misses down the stretch, too, was halfway down and came out. I mean, it's just basketball's a thin line sometimes. Those go, you probably find a way to win a game.
Well, if just one of them goes or one of theirs doesn't. It's just down the stretch. We talked the other night. It's just who gets the ball to go in the basket. And they did the other night, and we weren't able to, and we need to make shots. When you're having a hard time getting to the line. I think that's the fewest free throws we've shot in over 10 years in a game, and it wasn't by any means not a pretty rough game. They didn't shoot a whole lot more. I think they probably shot at least 4 on we fouled them intentionally, but still there was a lot of contact on a lot of shots, and like I said, we've shot more free throws than that in every game we've played for almost since I've been here. So you have to convert the good looks you get, and we just didn't.
Are you finding the game, I mean, are they letting you play more? Because it seems like on the men's side, it has kind of reverted back to 5 or 6 years ago, and it's a lot more physical, and you don't get to the foul line nearly as much as we saw when they had that freedom of movement. Are you sensing that at all? Because you're right. It seemed like it was hard to get to the foul line on Saturday. They let you bang in the paint.
Well, I think some crews do, and then the next crew, like at Emporia, we shot 28 free throws. You can't tell me that those two games were played that much different. Yeah. So I think when you don't, I think when you don't have uniform, full-time officials, and this isn't
no.
being critical of them necessarily. It's just that from one game to the next, you'll have one game where both teams shoot 25 free throws. You'll have the next game where you don't shoot very many. So personally, I would rather have the ones where you don't shoot a whole bunch of them. Call the obvious fouls and not the little. But I don't like the fact that our players don't know what they can do and what they can't. So one game you're in foul trouble because they're calling them close. The next game I'm on them because they aren't being physical, and they're afraid they're going to foul out. So I'd like to see a little more consistency, which I think on the so-called big-time level, you'll see the same officials calling game after game.
Yeah.
And
5 or 6 nights a week.
Well, exactly, and you see a much more consistent game being called because you're looking at a lot of the same 10 or 12 officials all the time. And I think if we had that, which it's impossible to do, you can't do it. We know it's not going to happen, but I think that's what we're facing, and they call a lot of different levels. They'll call a JUCO game, NAIA game, MIAA game all in 1 week sometimes because I see them either on film or in person when I'm out watching games. So it makes it difficult on everybody.
One person, good to see Kate Dilsaver, a freshman who's been out there and grinding and making that adjustment. She had a big stretch in that fourth quarter. I think she scored 5 straight and had her 7 points in that fourth quarter, kind of keeping you in there, giving you a chance. But you see flashes with her of what everybody's excited about.
Well, the thing that I like about her, and the same thing I saw out of 2 or 3 of our freshmen last year, is that she's not afraid of the moment, and she's not afraid of a little pressure. And if you can't play with a little pressure on you, this is the wrong place to be because we play in a lot of pressure games, either pressure from expectations. You're picked to win the league, that's pressure. You're ranked 1 in the country, that's pressure. You have a big crowd, that's pressure. And that's what you want. I mean, you don't want to go through your whole career and never play in a game with pressure. I mean, what fun is that? So I think some kids perform better with that pressure. Some are the same, some are worse. And I think Kate, is maybe one of those kids, just like Wagner and just like Sydney Galladay and like Olivia. I think they play a little better with a little pressure, and that's why they come here, is to play in games that are meaningful with pressure on them, and it's pressure packed. I mean, it might mean the conference tournament, it might mean the conference title, it might mean NCAA tournament, but a lot of our games are meaningful because we're trying to win something, and And she seems like she kind of she doesn't back down, and she's not afraid to try to make something happen. A lot of kids just, they don't want to try to make that shot because it might not go in. Well, damn. Yeah, it might not go in, but it might.
But it might go in.
We need people to take that chance.
Well, it won't go in if you don't take it. We do know that for a fact. So, we're right at the bottom of the hour. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wurtenberger Construction.
With a combination of Kaiser Liquor and Fort Hays State Athletics, you're sure to be into something good. Kaiser Liquor and 14 KEYS Hayes.
Tiger Talk presented by Adams Brown, where they do more than just run numbers and file tax returns. They work hard to become strategic allies. Adams Brown, strategic allies, and CPAs. We're going to take another break. More with Coach Hopson after the timeout. This is Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wurtenberger Construction.
Fact: 8th Street Liquor is where good times start. Next fact: 8th Street Liquor has the best selection and prices on beer, liquor, and wine. Okay, I don't want to bore you with all the facts, but the fact of the matter is, you just can't get better than 8th Street Liquor. Yep, 8th Street Liquor, where good times start. That's the fact. Jack? Oh yes, they have plenty of Jack too.
Solid time with the key to take a pass. Holds it at her chest. Dribbles to her right. Hands it off to Hobbs. Jada down low. Great catch by Ernie. Plays it in low to Bergman and drives and lays it in. Ernie saved a turnover. Played it to a cutting Sydney Bergman. And Bergman scores to put the lead back to 10, 44-34. Yeah, it was a nice play in the second half for Fort Hays State in the game Saturday with Nebraska Kearney. Now setting their sights on Central Oklahoma. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. It's presented by the Taco Shop. Dine-in, carry-out, or fast contactless delivery, 625-7114, or use the handy Taco Shop app. It's the Taco Shop. You've never had it so good. Not much time to, I guess, feel sorry for yourself. Central Oklahoma, I mean, they're one of those teams, they've been right there, seems like year in and year out, but capable of beating anybody at any time. They're skilled, they're talented. So it'll be a challenge on Friday. Rare Friday-Sunday doubleheader this week.
Yeah, you say not much time, and I'm thinking too much time.
Well, you do have a week, I guess.
I'm ready. I'd like to play on Wednesday, truthfully. But we've had our day and a half for a little pity party for ourselves, and you just can't feel sorry for yourself. You need to move on. You need to try to move forward, and after you try to learn from what we did wrong and what went wrong, and try to improve that, and then move on. And we have a big game on Friday, and they are talented. They have one of the leading scorers in the conference with their big kid, and she seems like she's been there forever. But everybody seems like they've been everywhere forever because some of them have. We'll be challenged. I mean, they're really athletic. They've got a couple good three-point shooters, and they're physical inside. And there's a little, again, we have personal. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word. It's not a vendetta. We have personal, where we know kids on the other team, with two teams really. With Kearney, with the Nebraska kids, and then we have our Oklahoma kids, where they know almost all the kids from Central. So this game takes a little bit of a personal note for them, just because they know everybody. It means a lot to our two Oklahoma kids. So. Yeah, it'll be a tough game, and like I said, we need to put a Kearney in the rearview mirror for the time being, and when we play them again, we'll zero in on them again. But you have to pick yourself up, and nothing's been decided yet. Yeah. It's way too early in the season. We've played 3 out of 22 conference games, so I don't know what that percentage is, but it'd be pretty low, and we have a lot more ball to play, and we still have matters in our own hands if we want it to be. So, you're going to have to take a couple punches if you're going to win a fight, and we took one. So we need to see if we can get up, and hopefully we'll be able to do that Friday.
Finals week this week. How does that affect everything?
Well, Usually not much, because most of the stress that these kids have is probably last week getting ready for it. Some finals are taken early, some are taken on Saturday, and they're studying and getting. A lot of times they have a final paper due last week, and finals are kind of sometimes aren't as stressful as the week before when they're getting that last week's assignments in. So, we have 2 kids that'll go through. This winter graduation, whatever, I better not say anything, but we have to change around our schedule. I also have 2 kids graduating on my team that, they want to go through graduation. It's the same day as a game, a big conference game. So Whitney and Jaden both will be graduating. Jaden's going to have 2 degrees when she gets out of here, so she's graduating with her first one. She'll go through another graduation next year. So it can be a problem mentally if you let it be, and I think most of our kids, first of all, are in good enough shape academically that they don't wait until the last minute like you and I did,
right?
And do everything in the last day. They're probably very well prepared, and I think it shouldn't be a big deal.
Well, it should be a big game. Certainly always fun. UCO, I mean, they're as good as anybody, and it seems like you've had some really good battles with them. I remember a few times you've won on last-second shots or near, and you can probably expect another game kind of like we saw this past Saturday with these guys. And as you said, it's still early, nothing decided, but the fact it's at home, another big game, obviously you want to get back on track and kind of get that momentum going back.
Absolutely, and we need to finish what we start. I mean, we have some really good stretches where we look good, and then we give it back too easily. So instead of a 6 or 8 point run to a team, we need to make it 2 or 4 and then cut it off. And to do that, you have to execute better offensively in those tight situations and get a good shot.
Yep, hopefully that'll be the case on Friday. Coach, as always, we appreciate it, and we'll see you at the Coliseum on Friday.
Okay, sounds good, George.
Here you go. It's head coach Tony Hobson, the Fort Hays State women. Again, that's a Friday game, 5:30, 7:30 on Friday, then the typical afternoon on Sunday. Tiger Talk brought to you by BTI. They're your John Deere dealer. Locations in Buckland, Great Bend, Greensburg, Hoxie, Ness City, and Pratt. BTI, our family in partnership with your family. We'll have men's coach Mark Johnson after the break here on Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wurtenberger Construction.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
Plays it over to Cook. He's short on an elbow jumper, and Naichi Wright took the rebound away. Out ahead to Vitzthum, and he throws it down with a dunk on the other end. Timeout, Nebraska Kearney. Naichi Wright grabbed the rebound. He stole it from a Loper, got it ahead to Vitzthum, took one dribble, and dunked it. Yeah, some of the action from Saturday as the Tiger men moved to 8-0. They beat the Lopers 64-46. Welcome back to Tiger Talk here from the Golden Q in Hayes. As we bring in men's coach Mark Johnson. Congratulations, 8-0 start. Obviously, things going well for your program. That was a good win against a Kearney team, I think, better than that 3-4 record indicated. They had lost a couple games on last-second shots, and a couple of them, they were right there in it. But you guys played well, especially that first half. I mean, defensively, that was hold them to 12 points. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, Kearney's had a tough schedule here. They've played 8 games. 7 of them have been away from home. They've had some buzzer beaters and things like that. And I thought what we did Saturday is what we've done to a few teams on our home floor. You look, we've gotten out to these 12-0. I mean, we've done that at least 3 times at home now. I think give our guys credit. They're just playing really hard, and I think you're on the road and you just get hit in the mouth and you're not really ready. You're not prepared to how hard you have to play. The intensity level our guys are bringing. I think they were kind of shell-shocked, and then things just kind of snowball. You go back and watch the film, you're getting pressured, and then they had 2 really good looks from 2 guys that shoot the ball. The Evans and the Luger had wide-open threes in the first 4 minutes and missed, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. You know what I mean? And then to give our guys credit, really guarded extremely well. And then second half they showed, if you're not quite there like we we were the first half. They can score and made 7 threes and things like that. And but offensively, I thought we ran better offense. We're moving better. Caleb and Jared have been really good the last 2 or 3 games of the season, and just got just enough offense. And I've really gotten off to a good start. I
thought you had a good point after the game offensively. I mean, you shot 47% from 2 and from 3, 8 of 17, 89%, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. Great offensive numbers, but yet you look at 64 points. But you're making teams work to shoot. And so they're taking, it's kind of like time of possession in football, but they're taking more time to try to get shots off. So even though, and you probably get less possessions because of that, but I mean, there's just less time in the game to score.
Yeah, no question. And, you look at, scoring defense, I always feel like that's a little overrated because that's pace of play, and it's nice to see. I think we're leading the country in scoring defense, but I think the bigger part of that is not so much that, is the field goal percentage defense. We're way up there, too. And like you said, teams are having to take a little bit longer time to score. And then you look at us, it's, Caleb's really the one guy on the team that's really go get your own shot. Everyone else has to work. So it's not like we can just come down and give it to a guy and he can just go get it right away or get a really good look. We got to kind of work. So it's a kind of a combination, but a lot of it, like I've said over the years, it's hard to be a high-scoring offensive team when you're a good defensive team, unless it's your defense is more of a pressing, trapping, full court,
right.
Turn it over. We're not a high turn you over defense. We're more low, make you shoot a low percentage shot. So it's hard to get out and get a lot of possessions because, like I said, at 47, and 8 for 9 from you're going to take pretty much every night of the week and feel like you're going to be at the end of the year, you'd be one of the better offensive teams as far as efficiency there is. So, it's just not a lot of possessions right now.
Nebeker wears number 5 for them. Really good player. Tough matchup because just what he does at the 4 position. Let you defended him maybe as well as you have.
Yeah, he really hurt us at 3rd place last year. And you watch statistically, you look at his stats, and then you watch him on film going into our game. I was really concerned. He's really been a tough matchup. Hurt Emporia, hurt Washburn, really hurt whoever they've played, and B and Jeff and them, give them credit. Like I said, it's like B and Jeff, they're starting, and you go at the end of the game, I think they combined for 5 points, which obviously we need them to do a little better than that, but they have as much impact on us winning as Caleb and Jared getting the 20. Everybody has a role, but they just completely took that guy out. B took him out of the game, and then Jeff did the help when he came in and took that responsibility. He had 0 points at halftime. Here's a guy getting 16 a night. At halftime, he has 0. I think he finished with like 5. I mean, that goes a long way in you winning games, and we did a great job on him for sure.
You mentioned Jared playing well right now. Good to see. And it's amazing how it's patterned last year. Maybe the difference he got to the line more early in the year last season, but struggled shooting, and now it's kind of he's hit a few, and you can see the confidence back. He's looking for his shot, and he looks like the Jared we've seen the last couple seasons.
Yeah. He's getting better. I still feel like right now he's not just free, just letting it free flow. I feel at times he's still turning down a couple threes that he would have taken at some point in the last 2 years, but he's getting back there, and to see his confidence going. And the big thing for us is that mid-range game, especially against Central Oklahoma with that kind of zone they do. Mm-hmm. You saw what he did against Southwest Oklahoma early in the year. He can be really effective from that mid-range, and hopefully he just keeps growing confidence in his shot.
Quentin Rock, he got hurt. Well, it was a week ago today in the game last Monday against Avila, and out for a while. Obviously, you seem to overcome that well, but how does that affect things, not having him in there with rotations and just what he brings to this team?
Well, I will say this Friday's game is a huge loss. The way they play in that zone, Quentin's our best shooter, really, and you go back and look at the 2 games, he averaged 21 points a game in the 2 games against Central. Kearney, pace of play style, obviously it affects us, but maybe not quite as much. With Central Oklahoma and their loose defense somewhat, that's Quentin can be really good in those games. So I think this Friday is going to be a big, that we would definitely like to have him. But yeah, I mean, Elijah's just getting in there and taking that rotation with Nige and Caleb, and I got to probably get him more minutes. If you look at that was a lot of minutes for Caleb. Caleb started cramping up at the end of the game, and we rely on him, Caleb, so much as far as defensive effort, pushing the ball, creating. Nige, same thing, gets fatigued, and I thought his defense wasn't quite. I mean, Nige's really one of the shining or surprises of the year is just how well, and Jared too, but how well Nige's bought into the defensive end compared to his previous years, and he's really become a big factor in our success on defense. And I thought he got a little tired, so I got to find a way to get. I was playing Quentin anywhere from 22 to 32 minutes. I think I put Elijah in for 12. So we probably got to get Elijah back, get him up to 20 minutes, so those guys just can rest a little bit more.
You kind of see this team hanging its hat on the defense, and obviously you play good defense, you got a chance to win. Everybody knows that, but there's still a buy-in factor. But you can kind of see this team starting to realize, hey, we've got a chance to be pretty special on defense, and it's kind of hanging their hat on that a little bit.
Yeah, they have right now. They've done a great job, and it just got to continue. I mean, that's the big thing you got to keep focusing on is, like we always say, it's what you're doing today and what you're about to do, not what you did. And to this point, our guys have been, tremendous, as good as anybody in the country. I feel like defensively, rebounding, it's just something that has to maintain. And I think right now the guys are starting to take a little pride in that and accept that identity and wanting to continue that for sure.
You mentioned Caleb a little bit. What a line for him. He played almost 39 minutes, 7-second shot, 21 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, no turnovers, and 2 steals. And if there's one element of his game that's improved, it's the turnovers. You go back and look, especially early on last year, which is understandable as a true freshman, but man, how he's really cut down on the turnovers, which is changed a lot of dynamics for this team.
Yeah, I mean, you got to preach to your guys all the time. I mean, the two things you can't do, if you do these two things, you'll never win, and that's bad defense and turnovers on offense. You can't overcome that, and he's done a great job because at our level, players have to make plays to score. We design plays and run stuff and try to put your players in a good position and where they can be successful. But guys got to go make plays. You can't design uncontested layups and wide open threes. So guys have to learn to make plays, but then value the ball at the same time. And you look at some of it's just kind of interesting. Some of our red shirt or guys that are red shirting this year that are in practice every day. Same thing. I mean, they're making plays, but they're also turning it over too much, and they're going through that process. Difference is Caleb and Quentin got to go through that process during real games and in front of people. So, but he's playing really good, and he's just, the guy is just so athletic. We go out on the court. Probably when you look around the in warm-ups or they tip the ball, most people wouldn't look at Caleb Hammock and go, I wonder who the best athlete on the floor is right now. You know what I mean? And most nights it's Caleb. He is so athletic, and he's gained about 20 pounds of muscle since he's gotten here. And then what makes you even more athletic, he's got a motor. He's always going hard. So you get a guy that's pretty physical, that is going hard and is that athletic, usually good things happen.
And when he dunks, it's pretty impressive because he's not as tall as some. And that makes, pretty impressive dunks. I know we did them in high school, but they are fun to watch. Crowd seems to like it.
Yeah, they usually do. I just wish I could have experienced one time myself.
Yeah, really, yeah. I can't relate to some of that. Tiger Talk presented today by the Hayes Orthopedic Institute. Expertise, technology, and compassion, all right here. The Hayes Orthopedic Institute, they're the official team physicians for Fort Hays State Athletics. We'll take our final break. We'll preview the Broncos and the Jets. Fort Hays State in action Friday and Sunday. Central Oklahoma and Newman to wrap up their first semester. We'll do that next. This is Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wertenberger Construction.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayespost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, Real Country. 99 KZ Country.
Bitston right wing, baseline. Davis to the basket for the two-handed flush. Trajan Davis with a dunk. There was nobody to help, and he had a clear path along that right baseline. 30-12. Fort Hays State on the dunk from Davis. That was late in the first half on Saturday as the Tigers knock off the Lopers 64-46. He's another guy with probably a chance to get a few more minutes. Nice play by him, and still, he's a bigger kid, but still a young guy. Figured it all out, but hopefully that light switch clicks on a little bit more, and you see him be a little bit more a factor on the squad.
Yeah, I mean, one thing Trey or two things, he'll always bring effort and toughness. I mean, he's going to play hard every time he's out there. He's a tough kid, and trying to make that little bit transition. We're trying to today's Division II. You got to have more size. I think that's part of what's helping our D. We're just a lot bigger, and he's another 6'6" guy out there. Just got to continue to improve his shot. He's worked hard at it, but he's got to get more consistent. Him and Gabe both. They got to become good shooters, and right now they're both a little inconsistent.
Well, Central Oklahoma first on Friday, Sunday this week because of the winter graduation, and then Newman on Sunday. But man, you watch Central Oklahoma, you watch them on video, and they are impressive. They look like a Division I team out there. They're tall, they're lanky. Isaiah Wade back, he's really, really good. He's a D1 transfer. It's going to be a tough test on Friday.
Yeah, he played in the Pac-12. I would unquestion this is the best team we've played all year to this point. This will be they'll be the best team we've played, and they lost a heartbreaker to Southern. Their one conference loss on the road. I think they had like an 8-point lead late in the game, and Southern tipped it in at the buzzer to beat them, but super talented with Cam Martin leaving. Wade's the best back to the back. Jared's not really a back to the basket guy. Last year I think I looked at the box score. He scored 25 points and 26 points. We didn't have an answer for him. The Cam Gibbons kids elevated his game even more. I think he had 40 against Washburn.
Yeah.
And then their two guards, there's really shooting. I mean, they got four guys that are high level offense, and it'll be again, our defense will be put to the test again to see if we can slow them down. And really, you have to be able to score a little bit. You're not probably going to win this game 64-46. Hey, it'd be great if we did, but I mean, they're a team we're going to have to score a little bit better than we have, just because you're going to have a hard time. You're not going to shut them out, I wouldn't think. You're trying to slow them down and make it difficult and keep it in a 70s something type situation.
Yeah, it looked like Wade's shooting threes a little bit better this year. He really was. That wasn't a big factor when he did. He didn't shoot them very well, but he's off to a great start this year.
Yeah, I think just physically he's the most impressive guy in the league. When you factor in height, body, strength, athleticism, the whole deal, he's I just watching film again last year. Jared is such a great rebounder, defensive rebounder, but he reacts to a ball a few times on the offensive glass where he beat Jared a few times, and that doesn't happen. Yeah. And that's just how quick he is to the ball and how physical he is.
Finals week this week, how does that affect your scheduling and just going about this week? One more distraction, I suppose.
Yeah, you're always worried this time. They have finals that they're having to go through, and then you're always worried at our level. You get a week off for Christmas, so you're close to going home. Sometimes kids are a little more, just excited about I haven't been home for a while. I think this group's pretty locked in, and I don't foresee that being an issue, but there's always a little bit more going on this last week, and hopefully we can finish the first semester off on a positive note and continue to gain momentum as we keep going along.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You've got a great thing started. Hopefully have two more good ones here before our little break. Coach, as always, we appreciate it, and we'll see you on Friday.
All right, thanks, Jared.
Yeah, I need to remind you, this is our last show for 2021 because of the women play next Monday, and then off for Christmas, and then we'll be on the road the following Monday. The Tigers will be in Claremore wrapping up their Oklahoma road swing to start out the new year. So we'll see you again here on Tiger Talk on the 10th of January. Until then, stop on by the Golden Q. They'll have great burgers, specials throughout that time. Our program brought to you again today by Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams Brown, The Taco Shop, BTI, Hayes Orthopedic Institute, G&L Tire and Automotive, and, of course, the folks here at the Golden Q. Tigers play Friday and Sunday this week, 5:30, 7:30 on Friday for Central Oklahoma, 2 and 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon for Newman, and then the women wrap up their first semester with a non-conference conference game on Monday against Bethel. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip. Hope to see you out at the Coliseum. If you can't make it, of course, you can hear it on the Tiger Sports Network. That'll wrap it up for Tony Hobson and Mark Johnson. Gerard Wellbrock from the Golden Q. So long, everyone.